This lesson covers modeling concepts for user interfaces. After completing this lesson, you should be able to do the following. Outline the various navigation styles that are available for user interface creation, create and modify a user interface for a model, test the model during various phases of development, and explain how snapshots change impact existing UIs. This screen illustrates that supplemental structures and rules are important parts of any configurator model, but the user interface of the model is what the end user actually sees and interacts with to configure the model. The configurator model's work area enables you to create user interfaces and modify them to suit the preferences of end users who are configuring products at transaction time, as an example, from order management when ordering a configurable item. This section highlights the key steps involved in either creating or modifying user interfaces. In the overview of configurator modeling lesson of this course, we learned that configurator user interfaces consist of a set of templates which are dynamically rendered at runtime. This diagram depicts the following templates that are the building blocks of user interfaces. Control templates. These represent UI items and allow user interaction, such as selection or input. The layout template determines the visual layout of the control templates or elements within the layout region. The shell template keeps together all of the other regions or parts of the UI and provides the navigation and actions for the UI. Message and utility templates provide UI elements for specialized parts of a page. Template maps maintain the mapping between types of items, such as standard items, option classes, or reference models, and the control templates that allow users to interact with these items. Examples of such mapping are as follows. If an option class is defined as having mutually exclusive options, it is mapped to a radio button group control template. Or, if an option class is not mutually exclusive, that is, more than one item from its children can be selected, then it's mapped to a checkbox group control template. Or a third example, a required model reference is mapped to an item selection control template. The item information from the model and the template map that maintains the mapping between this item type and the control templates are read dynamically to assemble the configurator runtime UI that is presented to the end user to configure a model. The same logic is used when a UI is created in the configurator model's work area that the PCM can further modify by using a WYSIWYG editor. You can use a selectable image UI template to represent items in the runtime UI with their images rather than with their names. In the model structure, you associate standard items or options of option features with a set of image files that show the item as being unselected but available, selected, or excluded. The image files must be stored in Universal Content Management. In the UI definition, you edit the UI page item representing the selectable item and specify the use of a selectable image group template with or without a header. You can specify optional formatting to control the layout and CSS attributes of the image at runtime. During the runtime configuration session, the options are initially displayed with the images for their unselected states. Selecting an option displays the image for that selected state of that option. If a rule excludes an option, then the image for the excluded state of that option is displayed. If you haven't provided one of the state images, then substitutes are displayed, either a rectangle for selection or a dimmed image for exclusion. As an option, you can use a running summary template to provide the user with a high-level view of the selections made during a configurable session. In the Overview tab, you specify a running summary template that includes some combination of the item description, item quantity ordered, or item amount for each of the selected orderable items within the configuration. During the runtime configuration session, the summary is displayed in a pane on the right-hand side of the UI. When the user selects an orderable item, that item is added to the summary with its quantity and amount depending on which template you specified. The total configured net price, excluding shipping and tax charge, is also displayed. This screenshot shows the Instance Management Table with facets at runtime. The Instance Management Table template provides you with the ability to easily configure of multiple instances in model user interfaces at runtime. You can also override item display values of options with all model node attributes and not just the name and description. This template is only applicable to model nodes that can have multiple instances are specified in the Product Information Management work area before the model is imported. These nodes display the instantability settings as multiple instances of the detail pane of the Model Structure tab. Any model nodes that can have multiple instances are rendered by default in the new UI using the instance. You can also create UI page items by using the template by adding instantiable nodes from the model tree in the structured pane. Cloud supports 3 navigation styles in a default installation. These navigation styles are available only when the configurator models work area is used to create UIs. The screen navigation style that collects all the configurable options of a model onto if a model has reference models, the user can drill down into the UI for the reference model by clicking the configure control on the reference to the reference model. The other UI level actions that are save for later. This option saves the configuration as is in the state left by the end user without the configurator engine finishing the configuration. Finish and review. With this option, the configuration and navigates the end user to a review page where all the selections are displayed for review. Finish. In this action, the configurator engine automatically completes the remaining selections that are required for a valid configuration of the item and returns the selection information back to the host application. With this action, the user is warned about losing any selections made and is returned to order management from where configurator is invoked. The dynamic tree navigation style navigate to a specific UI page by using the tree links that are displayed in the left pane. When the UI is created, each of these tree links is created as a page. If a model, the user can drill down into the UI for the reference model by using the configure icon that is displayed next to the reference model. Tree link available to navigate to reference models directly, but the user can drill down into the UI for the reference models by clicking the configure control on the reference to the reference model. The same UI level actions as a single page scheme discussed on the previous slide. The step-by-step navigation style allows end users to navigate to a specific step by using the train steps that are displayed at the top of the page. When the UI is created, each of these tree links is created as a page. If a model has reference model down into the UI for the reference model by using the configure icon that is displayed next to the reference model. Dynamic tree navigation style, there is no train step available to navigate to a reference model, but the user can still drill down to the UI for the reference model by clicking the configure control on the reference model. Style also provides the same UI level actions as a single page scheme. In addition to those actions, there are two additional buttons, Back and Next, which are available to enable navigation or the next step. Here, we see the Create User Interface page where you create user interfaces for a configurator model on the User Interfaces tab of the Edit Model page of the configurator model's work area. When you create a UI, you must choose a template map as the basis for the UI pages. Predefined template maps are provided for each of the navigation styles, and the icon could indicate whether an item was selected by the end user or by a rule. There is also a template map named Single Page Navigation for Test UI with enhanced selection controls. This map is for use only when testing and debugging the behavior of a model with the test model operator in the configurator model's work area. It should not be applied to a UI that is intended for runtime use with end users. After you create a UI, you can edit the UI generated by the template maps using the Design tab. The generated UI will have the control templates mapped in the template map for the respective node type. The layout template and control templates can be changed by editing the respective UI region or item. For dynamic tree and step-by-step UIs, pages can be added, deleted, and moved within the scope of the same parent. You can also add style text and images to make the UI appear the way you want it. You can also control the display of items in the UI based on conditions. This page illustrates a 3D model of the four-door sedan at runtime. A visual representation of a configured product ensures the accuracy of the final bill of materials. You can use a third-party visualization tool within the configurator UI to view your configured product in either 2D or 3D. You can enable the iframe basic UI element in your UI at design time to receive model node changes relative to its associative model node and communicate them to the iframe at runtime. This information is then interpreted by the visualization tool to adjust and display those changes to the configured product in that iframe. Here, we see an example in which the option class interior color is displayed only when the transactional item attribute, named CZCarColor, does not have a value assigned. When the TI value is set, the option class need not be displayed. You define display conditions at design time when you are modifying the user interface. A display condition depends on the attributes of the model items at runtime. For example, let's assume that you want to display an image of a red car when an end user selects a red exterior color. You add an image of a red car to the UI and set a condition that it should be displayed only when the exterior color option of red is selected. When an end user is ordering the car from the order management and is configuring the car, the display condition on the image is evaluated. The image of the red car is displayed only when the exterior color option of red is selected. You can also set up conditions to hide elements in the UI. Display conditions allow you to design the UI for better end user experience by controlling what needs to be displayed in the user interface for a given product when it is being configured. This table describes the tokens of the UI expression language. Every expression is enclosed with the following delimiters, hashtag with an expression. To override the default display name of a UI element, you do the following. Select the UI element, click the edit control for the element, then, in the edit dialog box, enter a UI expression for the caption of the UI element. Then click OK in the Edit dialog, save the UI, and click Test Model. Then, in the Test UI, the caption appears with the overriding expression text. For reference, here is a list of configurator model nodal types that have UI templates and include UI facets. They include radio button group with facets, radio button group with quantity and facets, checkbox group with facets, checkbox group with quantity and facets, Boolean feature control with facets, choice list with facets, and item instance management with facets. Models are not static. They go through changes, and the changes are refreshed into the configurator model's work area by using the snapshot refresh process. Some of these changes could affect the existing UIs for a model. To account for these model changes, you must create a new workspace and add the affected model and the updated snapshots to the workspace. For this lesson, we have a practice to create and modify